James, how's the feeling for you of if you look back on where you guys started to where you are now?
Mm, Though we went through a few years of struggling, I knew in my gut told me that we would be very successful in this business. We just had to persevere and get over some of the obstacles that were in front of us, and through friends and family and our colleagues that supported us and gave us advice, uh, we did just that. And in addition to one of the sayings that Scott just mentioned, that success is earned, not given. We as a couple have another saying, and that saying is, "Together we're invincible." And that's been one of our mantras, really almost since the beginning of our relationship. And I we reminded each other of that mantra several times during the dark times, and I'm so glad that we stuck together and really just worked harder and got smarter and became smarter businessmen through that process. And looking back now, I'm glad we stuck it out, and we went through those sleepless nights.
Can I ask? There's the conversations between you guys from a personal. You guys are both a couple, but also business partners, and I deal with that with Callistra as well. And Callistra and I look back at the tough times that we've had, coming and starting a business and doing something different in North America, and we look back and there was never a moment where we ever were going to give up. But was there a moment that you guys literally threw your hands up and said, "This is not doable"?
No.
No. I think we may have approached it at certain points, but no, we never either said to one or the other, "I'm throwing in the towel. I can't do this anymore." That was never a conversation.
There's a pure correlation between that, because I asked that a question of a few of our guests, is that did you ever get close to giving up? And keep in mind that the people that I interview are the most successful people within what we do, because at the end of the day, they're the people that we operate with at a high level. And there's a correlation that everybody says that. No. And the other part, it's funny. And I think that you guys might draw a parallel here, is that you look back on where you are now and versus where you started. And did you expect to be there? And arrogantly, yeah, I expected you guys to be where you are, and I expect more.
Yeah, we've only just begun. You said earlier, El Paseo, Palm Desert, that's the Rodeo Drive of Beverly Hills. So for us, it's the day has arrived. It's time for us to own our pure potential and really convict ourselves to the next level and attract really great like-minded talent, because our vision for our brokerage has always been quality, not quantity, and like-minded professionals, full-time professionals that want to take advantage of our platform because it's unlike any other. And so it's been the path these past 8 years. When we look back, sometimes literally, even before this call, I pinch myself to look back to 2014 when we were evaluating Harcourts, to 2015 when we signed the agreement, to 2017 when we went through the dissolution of the partnership, and to see who we are today. And we've gotten a PhD in life on every aspect of what it takes to succeed. So when we go through, myself with the interviews with various agents to recruit them, or you hear all the negative speech, we've just had a lot of teachable moments. Our negative is never negative. It's our teachable moment and our focus on how we can succeed and push ourselves to the next level. So it's not easy. And if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And it's not. But that's where the true success comes from for us. And for our personal relationship, you have to balance those two worlds. But I can't imagine doing it with anybody else, because this man is the guy that when it was dark, when I wasn't sleeping, when I had a few more doubts than he did, he was the one who kept saying, believe, just believe, trust me, I know what's ahead of us. So it could get me teary-eyed, but it was his belief that helped me continue never to give up.
So. Do you know? I have to add to that, because you obviously get that from a personal perspective, Scott. Is that James is probably one of the guys who walks into a room, and I always, when James walks in and I see James, it's always a joke, it's always laughter, it's always optimism, it's always, hey, things are great, hey, we're moving forward, hey, it's good. So I think that's to be said about any attitude in an environment or in a moment where others are down, and if you can uplift them, and you guys have the benefit of maybe being a little bit of a yin and yang working perfectly together in those situations. I think that's probably a little bit of an essence of success, of your success and your persistence.
Agreed.
Yeah, I would agree to that.
That's good. Well, guys, I think that at this point, not only have we gone through some very successful moments from the auction perspective, but then obviously a little bit of an insight to what you guys have done to build a business. I think that it's given everybody a very good all-rounded perspective. But there's one thing that I think that has to sort of put the cherry on top, is that you guys put yourself into an environment and you immersed yourself into an environment. You chose to learn something new because you wanted to see whether or not it was at a benefit. So being genuinely curious, even though you'd already built a successful business, and actually wanting to immerse yourself in the tools and resources that were available to you, I think that's a part, that curiosity and that continued curiosity that I see from the both of you would probably be another essence of your success so far, that I would say as well. What are your thoughts? How do you stay curious?
How do we stay curious?
Because you guys both are. You're always asking questions. You're always asking. You're never like, no, it should be done this way. It's always like, well, what do you think of this?
I think our nature, truly, both the two of us, we're adventure seekers, and we get stimulated by taking ourselves to the next level on all different types of capacities. So anyone who's met us and understands us is that our personal and our professional worlds, they do mix and mold together, but our adventure, we're on an adventure together, and being on that adventure keeps the curiosity going for us. So we don't like just settling and just sitting out and hanging out. I mean, yes, we want to hang out by the pool, have our cocktails, or do our relaxing things and do our traveling and all that. But part of the success of our personal relationship has always been inspiring each other to the best level, both personally and professionally. So that was part of the reason why we purchased the franchises. We were a little bit bored just selling real estate. And when we were looking at the Harcourts opportunity, and I have to say it's been a village. And Ben, you have been part of this. Rob Ford has been part of this. There's been so many people. Our success has not been just the two of us and our focus. It truly has been our village that's been there. And they've seen the transformation. I mean, those people who know our story truly understand that we've overcome a lot of different obstacles to be where we're at today. But part of that too has been our inspiration in each other to always take each other up to a higher level, because why would we want to go in the reverse?
Yeah,
That's
fair.
not who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So James, your days in IBM in that corporate world, you know, you were a pretty high-flying executive in the IBM world, and traveling all over the world, dealing with accounts like Toyota and some. James has got some great stories. If you've got the time, guys, it's absolutely great after a couple of glasses of champagne to listen to him with the couple of stories that he's got in the corporate world. But have you brought any of that over into real estate?
I have. When I left IBM to join Scott's business 20 years ago, I brought my knowledge of systems and checklists and SEO strategies to our web technology, and really the IBM training of how to qualify a prospect, or maybe how to disqualify them, taking different angle and using psychology to basically elicit the true sense or the truth from the prospect, and to ascertain whether or not they're worthy of my time or our time together as a prospective client. And when you do that, and it is more involved than what I'm explaining here, your client is more attracted to you. They'll listen to you. They'll take your advice right out of the gate. And when you qualify them a certain way, and so it's really that the corporate world really prepared me for this business is real estate, and in hindsight now as a broker owner.
Absolutely. Well, guys, congratulations on all of your success. I'm excited to be part and watch the journey all the way through. And thanks for joining us on ReThink Real Estate.
It's our pleasure. Thank you, Ben.
So about 75% of our audience hasn't liked, followed, or subscribed to our podcast. It would mean the world to us, and it would help this podcast more than you know to expand our reach if you were to like, follow, or subscribe on any of the platforms that you're watching or listening on. Thanks again.